So one end of the Lake Wobegon Trail starts in Waite Park, Minnesota, and goes towards St. Joe, Avon, Albany. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jodi Middendorf and I love the outdoors. Recently though, I've been super busy trying to do a lot of things. I bought a building, turned it into a photography studio. I display my photos as well as other people's art. Right now though, I am about to finally get back outside. I'm gonna go on a little outdoor adventure that I really need because I have not spent enough time outside and in nature recently. I am super lucky because the photography studio gallery that I have is right next to the Wobegon Trail, which is a biking trail that goes throughout Minnesota, really far, miles and miles. There are a lot of people that use this trail for biking, for hiking, for walking, for running, for rollerblading. You can camp along the way at certain campsites that are kind of situated along the Wobegon Trail. It's gorgeous. I'm going to take you on a walk here because obviously this place is close to my heart. I now own a photography studio right on the Wobegon Trail. How cool is that? You guys know how much I love being outside. I just could not have imagined my photography business and my gallery and my little gift shop turning out any better. So you can't tell, I'm just really happy. There are a bunch of goose who live in this little river. I am editing this video right now and I cannot believe I just said a bunch of goose. Oh God. There are a bunch of goose and I see them when I'm driving home after being at the studio at night. They like to cross the road right by where this trail crosses the main road. Recently, I really have not been taking time to be outside as much as I usually am, as much as I would like to, as much as would be good for my soul. But I have made a promise to myself to spend more time outside now that things have settled a little bit. As I first bought my studio, I had to paint, get everything set up. I had to go buy a lot of items to get everything set up, like things I didn't really anticipate. There are a lot of things, a lot of things that go into setting up the photography studio. But now it feels like things are already starting to calm down a little bit and I can get into a groove. So here we are, back outside where I belong. I did not bring my camera. Usually when I go on hikes, I either bring my vlogging camera or I bring my photography camera. And I decided specifically not to bring my photography camera because I spent so much time working on my photography business and I want to spend time with you guys. The name of the Lake Wobegon Trail actually came from a fictional story. If you're not familiar with Garrison Keillor, he's an author, and he would write pieces. I believe it was for a radio program where they would tell stories about the town, this fictional town called Lake Wobegon. These stories would often be heartfelt and touching and humorous. And people would ask if it was a real town or not. And they would be often sad to hear that it's not a real town. But the fictional town Lake Wobegon was meant to be set in a rural town in central Minnesota. So here, kind of. It's a little bit different scenery than what I was used to being around up north. I still spend a lot of time up north. I will spend a chunk of my summer going back and forth from Grand Marais, North Shore, Gunflint Trail, and back here. So one end of the Lake Wobegon Trail starts in Waite Park, Minnesota, and goes towards St. Joe, Avon, Albany, and then near Albany it splits, so you can continue to go up towards Sauk Center, Osakis that way, or you can turn and go towards Holdingford where I am here, and it goes Holdingford off that direction. Definitely if you're from Minnesota, especially central Minnesota, and you haven't spent time on the Wobegon Trail, do it. It's an old railroad grade, so it's nice now because they've paved it. Sometimes when we have cool gems like this, like the Lake Wobegon Trail literally in our backyard, we don't take time to explore those places. If you're from the Midwest, you probably know the smell of fresh cut hay, and you can smell this video right now. So I realize if you're not familiar with central Minnesota and the Lake Wobegon Trail, being that it's so long and vast and covers a long chunk of area, I would give you an idea of what to do for a Lake Wobegon day trip. I grew up in Holdingford, and a lot of people that I know liked to do a day trip where you bike from Holdingford, Minnesota, bicycle all the way to Albany. There's Dairy Queen in Albany, you can get Dairy Queen, and then bike back. That usually takes a good chunk of the day, and then you can check out Holdingford, check out my studio. And there's a place called Boho Cafe, which is a really cool spot to check out in Holdingford as well, to get like coffee, ice cream, water, lunch, something like that. And there are other things in Holdingford too. There's a new nutrition place that has like shakes and teas. I want to say it's like Herbalife. I hope I'm not wrong with that. There are some really cool spots in Holdingford to check out, especially if you have kids. There are playgrounds. Our school playground is super cool. It's open usually for people to use during the summer, and it's a really nice playground. There's also a park right next to the Wobegon Trail. There is a little picnic area by the Wobegon Trail. There are old train things in Holdingford that you can check out too, and there is a nice variety too around Holdingford of little waterways that go under the trail, wooded area. I would recommend start in Holdingford. There's a place to park in town right along the Wobegon Trail. Then bike to Albany, get ice cream, come back, have lunch, check out some cool art. The Boho Cafe has art, I have art, so it's kind of like the all-in-one. It's the ice cream, it's the lunch, it's the culture, it's the outside. Really cool way to spend your day. So hopefully that inspires somebody to come to Holdingford and visit the Wobegon Trail. You might see a deer on the trail. I've seen lots of deer on the trail. I've seen some coyotes, and I've also seen a stray cat or two. My mom just called me and said that she's grilling burgers right now. So I'm going to my mom's house. Subscribe.